I have been ripped off. Ripped off so hard that it's brought me back from the dead to talk about how shit this game is. The Walking Dead Destinies was... well, it sounded like an interesting concept, and if they got it right, I genuinely believe this could have been one of my favorite games of all time. Being able to rewrite the story of the Walking Dead show sounds incredible. It's like a what if series, but it's a game instead, and that sounds incredible, alright? But the first trailer dropped, it got dislike bombed basically. It didn't do too well. The graphics looked awful, the voice acting sounded awful. The gameplay, it was hard to tell what it was about. But today I've bought it and I played it. And that's £36 down the bloody drain, because what the fuck? What have I just played? I got like less than an hour into it and I have already sent a refund request and uninstalled the game. It's so bad. I don't even want to give it a chance. I don't want to give it the benefit of the doubt or anything. It's just awful. There's no excusing this. Like... Alright, let me explain what my actual problem with the game is. So, first booted into the game, it started off okay. I noticed in the hospital section, your character moved a bit fast, and the environment was quite closed in, so that was pretty off-putting to start with. And then I saw Rick's face close up, and I realised how shit the models were. That is not Rick. I don't know who that man you're playing as at the start is, but that is not my Rick, alright? That is just a random guy that woke up in the hospital and is in the same situation as Rick. That's not Rick. And the voice acting is abysmal. He sounds nothing like Rick. He looks nothing like Rick. He sounds nothing like Rick. But that's excusable, I think, if the gameplay is good. So what's the gameplay like? Well, it introduces you to stealth, like right away, with some walkers. The stealth is a load of bollocks. Basically, you have to sneak around a bunch of walkers getting behind cover. I found it is so easy to get detected. Like, you're just crouching around behind something, and you'll see the little bar start to fill up, and it'll be like, what? How can it see me? In what universe am I not hidden right now? And then it just comes over and attacks you, and you have to run away. And there's another part to it where you can distract them by throwing glass bottles. Holy shit. Could they not have handled it any worse? The arc for throwing, it makes it so difficult to throw the bottle, especially where you want it. Like, it's honestly, I think it's more practical not to use the bottle, because sometimes a bottle will smash like right near a walker. It won't even go to it. So after all that effort of like the horrible aiming mechanic, the walker won't even go to it, and you realize you just wasted your time when you could have just ran through. Speaking of running through, I ran through like one of the first massive stealth sections. When you get outside of the hospital, there's loads of walkers outside, right? And I just charged through them all and just got out. No stealth at all. Back to stealth, anyway. When a walker detects you, the game slows down. I don't know if it's a bug. It feels like a bug because it's not like it's slowing down. It's like the frame rate is dipping. It feels like the frame rate is just going down like loads and loads as the walker notices you. It's so annoying. It's so jarring. It really takes you out of it. Jesus Christ. And now I guess I should talk about the combat as well, because stealth and combat go hand in hand. It is so bad. It sounded okay at first. Basically, you've got like regular attacks, then you've got heavy attacks. I haven't gotten to gun combat, by the way. I have no idea what that's like because I couldn't play long enough to find out, right? But with melee, there's regular attacks, there's heavy attacks, and then there's a stab. And basically, you can only use the stab if A, you haven't been detected yet, or B, they've been knocked away by your attacks. This is my first problem. I can't tell when a walker's ready to stab or not. I'll hit it with the bat, it'll be hunched over, and then I go in for the knife kill and it doesn't let me. And then the walker latches onto me and bloody starts grabbing me. And the walker grabbing mechanic is so bad. You have to spam a button until it lets go of you. It becomes like you have to do this constantly. You get grabbed all the time if you don't have the most precise gameplay, alright? And then you can get up to 4 of them grabbing onto you at once. And then you have to press it an unrealistic amount of times. And basically you're going to take a flip ton of damage. If not, you're going to die. It's so stupid. It's so unbelievably stupid. I don't play games so I can mash a button. That's not enticing gameplay. And then, right, here is my least favorite part of the combat. This happens when you take too much damage. You go into either a panic or a manic state. The panic state is flipping horrendous. In the panic state, you cannot attack. Yep, your attacks are disabled. No gun attacks, no melee attacks. All you can do is run and dodge. And if you get hit at all in the panic state, you fucking die. Who thought that would be a good Who thought that'd be a good idea to put in the game? What does that add to the gameplay? It's so annoying. If you're on low health, basically you'll get put in the panic state. Then you'll run around for a little bit, get out of it. Then you'll be smacked again and put back into it, and you can't actually do anything. It's the same problem with the manic state, except the manic state is slightly more manageable because you can still attack, but you can only use heavy attacks. Also, you can hear like jack shit while you're in the manic state, and you can hardly see anything because everything's all red and blurry, and it's horrible. You have to wait for it to go away, and then chances are you'll be hit again and get it back. And for some reason, the way that you regenerate max health being lost is by doing like this finisher move. For some reason. Or you can heal yourself with these meds that are scattered around the map, right? They are so scarce. You're going to find like one meds bottle every 30 minutes that you play. And then it's going to heal like this tiny little amount of your health. Tiny little amount of your health. It's so stupid. Speaking of level design, let's focus on level design now. The whole game, from what I can tell, is just going to be linear. Like from what I've played, it's basically a set path that you have to follow. There's no open world to it, which I guess is all right when it's done well. In this case, it is done horribly. It's so hard to find where to go. You have to look for these tiny little clues of where to go. And the first bit I can remember where I really got stuck, there was a bus, and Rick walked up to the bus, or I walked up to the bus, and Rick says, oh, maybe I can get through the bus. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the other side and see if the door's open. No, there's no door on the other side. So I go back to the other side. I'm like, wait, but there's things in the way. Maybe I can try climbing. So I hold down the button to climb. It doesn't do anything. So I keep running back and forth for a little while until I realize you can break the bloody boxes. And it never told me this. I thought I was going insane. I thought I was going the wrong way. It's just so bad. And there's other instances where I just went down a path and it just ends right there. And it's not actually the right way to go. And then you have to like keep running into walls for like half an hour to find where you want to go. It's just disappointing. But at least the story is good, right? Wrong. All the story elements are done in slideshow cutscenes. The characters don't even move. They're all slideshow cutscenes. I know you can't expect too much from something like this, where it has so many possibilities, so many endings. But the least they could have done is made the models better and made the characters more expressive. I got to the cutscene that introduces Morgan, and Rick's face, his facial expression, was the same through the whole cutscene. I had no idea what emotion it was trying to convey. He just looks lifeless and empty throughout the entire thing. It's done so horribly. I couldn't even... Honestly, the cutscenes were probably the most fun bit, because I wanted to see what I could do differently. Spoiler alert, nothing yet. I haven't even gotten to any major choices yet, because I say yet as if I'm going to play it. I haven't gotten to any major choices because I've uninstalled the game and requested a refund already. Maybe I should give the game more of a chance. Maybe that's an argument you can make. But if it's turned me away this bad already, why the hell would I? Why should I? Why should I give this game my attention when it's so excruciatingly painful to get through? And I guarantee the rest of the gameplay is just this over and over again. And it's not even just the gameplay. The performance on Xbox Series S, it feels like it's really jittery. It feels like it's maybe like 50 FPS, but it keeps dropping to 40, 45. It just keeps bouncing around. That's what it feels like to me. I have one last nitpick. It's a weird nitpick. Basically, when you get on the title screen, it starts playing the Walking Dead intro music, but it's like a remix of it, and it sounds like a MIDI remix. It sounds really bad, really low quality. And I've noticed that they spam it quite a bit in the game. Like, you'll be doing literally anything. You could be... This is obviously not a real example, very exaggerated. You could just be, hanging up the washing, mowing your lawn, and it'll start playing the intro music for some reason. In the most least epic scenarios. You thought they'd save it for something really cool, but no, they just overuse it all the time. But I will say the main menu is my favourite part of the whole game, honestly. The main menu is gorgeous. Everything else, bleh. Don't buy this game. Never, ever. I hope my refund goes through, because I am not... This game is worth £5, and I spent £36 on it. I wouldn't even say £5. £5 is still a rip-off for what this is. I'm disappointed. I've been waiting for this. I mean, I'm not as disappointed as I could be, because I have been cautiously optimistic. I've been optimistic, but I've accepted that it's probably not going to be great. But still, I am let down. This is disappointing. The Walking Dead games don't have the best track record. There's like 2 good games. Oh, it's just terrible.